Hello and welcome back to Weyermann's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this Thought You Could Use Some Sunny Thoughts Today card using the greeting from Sunny Sentiments and the flower and scatter dots from the Quiet Meadow stamp set. I've used Flirty Flamingo and Granny Apple Green. It is a dreary rainy day here in Edmonton, Alberta, so I thought I'd do something bright and fun. So we need a Flirty Flamingo card base and a piece of your basic white and 5 1/4 by 4. We need a scrap of Granny Apple Green to do the mat for the greeting, and we need a scrap of basic white to stamp the greeting. So what I'm going to do to start with is I am going to do the background. One of the reasons I haven't pre-stamped this is because I wanted to show you how it works. I've used Wink of Stella in the middle of the flowers just to give it some glitz. But if you use the Wink of Stella right away, you can actually use it to kind of blend your ink a little bit. So that's why I wanted to do that on the screen, on the video, so that you can see it. So I'm just going to use the flower from the Quiet Meadow set, and I'm just going to randomly stamp it around. I don't need to stamp a lot in the middle because it will be covered up, but I want to have enough coverage that it doesn't look like it's just floating. So I'm just going to do a couple more here like this. And then while it's still a little wet, I'm going to come in, sorry, I think I just got my hair in the frame. I'm going to come in with the Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to color it in, and you can, I don't know how well you can see that on the screen, but the Wink of Stella actually kind of picks up the color a little bit and just blends it. And what it's doing is it's adding sparkle to the middle of the flowers, but it's also adding just a little bit of depth because it's blending basically as if you had an aqua painter almost, or an aqua pen. So I'm just going in. I'm just going to move this over so you can see. I'm just coming in and just circling around just to blend everything together. So all it's done is it's taken the middles and it's just kind of almost blurred them a little bit, just made them look that little bit bigger. All right, so we're going to come in with the Granny Apple Green, and we're just going to do random scatter dots in between so that we can fill in some gaps. And you will notice that some of them are lighter than others. And that's just the depth of the stamp. And I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to pop a couple down there like that. I'm going to come in here again and up like that. So that looks good to me. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp our greeting, and then we can run both through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss at the same time, get that cut, and then just go ahead and build the card. So this is one of our rubber stamps. It is not a photopolymer, so I'm going to ink it up and stamp it off just to make sure I've got good coverage. And then I'm going to stamp it as close to the middle as I can and give it a push, and there we go. And I've actually pushed too hard and I've got a bit of a shadow, so I'm going to turn the paper over and do that again. There we go. No shadow on that one. Perfect. So yes, paper has two sides, and there are times when I indeed do use both sides. So let's get this lined up. We're using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I think that's what I've got here. Yes, the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I'm going to use the smaller one to cut the middle. And I am just going to use a sticky note just to hold that down because I need that to hold still. I'm going to put the other one on the Granny Apple Green, sandwich it up, and let's run it through the machine. And here we go. So we've just come off a week of paper pumpkin videos, and thank you all for your support. with those videos. I love Paper Pumpkin, and I love getting the kit and doing the videos, and love hearing your comments on them as well. So getting back into using regular stamp sets and that rather than the Paper Pumpkin ones. So we're just going to flat mount this right to the Granny Apple Green, like so. There we go. And we're going to flat mount this onto the card base like this, and drop it down. And then I'm using dimensionals on the piece for the middle. If you don't want to dimensionalize it, you don't have to. I just have a thing for dimensionals, so I use them a lot. I like the depth that they give a card, and I like the layering effect they give. So we just pop this down roughly in the middle, make sure it's straight, drop it down, and there we go. And there is our card. I'm just going to hold it up and turn it around. I don't know if you can actually see the wink of Stella on there. Gives it that subtle glitter. So thank you so much for watching today while I use the Sunny Sentiments and the Quiet Meadow stamp sets. And let's create together again soon.